Okay.
Okay, hello everyone again.
Hi.
Tiara and
Anne-Kathrin.
yay. And we're back today to talk about the law of attraction. So if you haven't heard about it or you have heard about it and you want to just hear us talk about it, we're going to go over what it is, what that energetic law of attraction is, and how we use it in our lives. So yeah, do you want to say anything real quick before we dive in, or?
Yeah, I'm like super excited to talk about this topic because I feel that it's going to influence so many lives if you really apply the law of attraction. So really just stay tuned, just listen to everything we're saying and take notes because I think it's going to be so useful for you. So why don't we just dive in?
Okay. So the way I understand law of attraction is like there are energetic laws in the universe. It's sort of like this conversation that you have with whatever force you believe is kind of out there, kind of governing or seeing over your life and sending you signs. And that I think we talked a little bit about our belief systems in that book video when
Yeah.
you thought about, Gabrielle Bernstein's books and stuff. And she talked a lot about sort of that whole mentality. And I think it goes along with that belief in the universe that you have like this exchange of where you can send out sort of a request or a message and then draw that towards you. And actually there's some cool like scientific base in it if you think about like matching frequencies. So like if you're in alignment with something like energetically, or if you think about like scientifically, like a wavelength or a frequency, you attract like that same wavelength
Frequency.
basically.
Yeah. So
So the law
basically,
of attraction is like you put out a frequency that's a vibrational match to what you want to bring back into your life, essentially.
yeah.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
and I can imagine like that people are like, okay, but my energy is really low right now, and
right.
there's no way out. I'm just gonna have a shitty life for the rest of my life.
Well, it's hard if you get into
Well,
that like
that's the case.
that spiral of, well, things are crappy, so I feel crappy, and therefore I'm thinking crappy things, and and then you just draw in more crappy things. So it's like you
Yeah,
sort of have to like short circuit that cycle somewhere and choose to then begin thinking like grateful thoughts and positive
yeah,
thoughts, because absolutely like your thoughts and your feelings kind of serve as like a broadcast signal for what
yeah,
you're going to attract towards you basically. So
yeah.
um, I think one of the most important things for law of attraction is that not only do you have to like think the right thoughts, like positive, energetic thoughts, but you also have to sort of embody it as well. So like making
Yes,
changes within yourself. And I think the most powerful tool that I've heard about through like many different authors that talk about this subject is that it's important to elicit those feelings in yourself. Like let's, for an example, like you want to attract a certain relationship or just like a certain job or something. Instead of thinking about like, I want that thing and I don't have it, it's like, that's coming from a space of lack, like I'm
yes,
lacking.
and
um,
that's not working.
right, which is what like the mindset that most people are in, and that's what kind of keeps them blocked. But if you
Yeah,
think of it as if you already have it. So like I have my dream job, I have the relationship that I feel loving and supporting, and then you sort of sit with that and make like draw within you and outward those feelings of what it would feel like to already have that,
yeah,
so like act
definitely.
and speak and think as if it's you already have everything that you want basically.
Yeah,
um,
I think
and it's
I
those feelings that are going to be the thing that like goes out to the universe and brings back the same.
yeah, and I think that's a really good one. But I can imagine like that this is quite a tough one when you're really in that downward spiral. At least that's how I
Right.
experienced it a couple of years ago. And I think that a step before that, feel what you want to achieve as if it is already yours. A step before that is to simply be grateful for what you have right now. To
Right. Yeah.
not look at what you're lacking, as you said, to think from a state of lack, but to simply look at all the things in your life that you're grateful for. And I actually have a good example of that. When I was really in this downward spiral that you're talking about, my house almost burned down and like 5 or 6 people died within a year. It was a really tough year, like mentally for a highly sensitive person. It's like so overwhelming. And I was just in this downward spiral and feeling, oh, this year's not my year, and all these negative thoughts. And basically what I did at one point was to just tell myself, okay, I'm going to write down 3 things to be grateful for every day for a week and just see what happens. And I did that. And after that week, I decided to continue. And I just, every time I was taking a walk in nature, I tried to think of everything that I'm grateful for. And eventually I could mention like hundreds of things after each other, without any hesitation. I was so grateful for my life, and from that point, it was easier for me to start building on what you said, what you're saying, to really envision.
You like shifted your focus, from the things that weren't working to the things that were working, and then from that space, it's much easier to expand. It's kind of like, because that goes along with that vibration that you're sort of operating at. So if you're kind of in this low space of like thinking all these, you can't help it. It's like things are just pouring down, and it's kind of hard not to think like, oh my God, why is this happening to me? But so you're in that, if you think of it like vibrational levels, so if you're in that kind of low space, and like what you said, you kind of go up to neutral of like, I'm not going to think about the past and the future. I'm just going to be present right now and think about all the things in my immediate surroundings that I'm grateful for. And it's that little shift that kind of like raises up your vibration to like a very grateful, it's called like the attitude of gratitude, So if you get into that space, then that act of like being grateful for what you already have is kind of like the exact energy that attracts more of what you're grateful for. It's like where you put your energy, like your thoughts and your emotions, it's energy. So it's like where that's going is what's going to be having the most momentum in your life.
That's a really good one. And I think once you're there, you're really starting to feel the law of attraction. So you take yourself up to the neutral level, and from there you start envisioning, and then it's when you start to notice the law of attraction doing its work. And it's simply amazing.
It's cool if you start with something small,
it doesn't have to be like your whole life. You can start with something really tiny and see how it goes from there,
Right. One of my favorite analogies that I've heard a few different times actually, but I think the first person, I probably should give her credit because I think she's the first person I heard this from, is Colette Baron-Reed. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of her. I don't know. Have you heard of her?
No.
I'll look her up. She's just like an amazing intuitive, and just, she's just amazing. But so the way she described it, I don't remember if it was like a course I took with her or a book or even like in person, because I did a workshop with her once, and actually had a couple of readings from her.
Nice.
She had described it as like if you want to think about setting an intention, if you think about shooting an arrow, like as an analogy. So it's like you line up your arrow towards what you want to aim for, and you like set your intention, and then you let go, and then you let the arrow and the wind, wherever it's going to land. Because sometimes what people get hung up on with the law of attraction is they think like they're manifesting specifics. Like, I want this job at this time for this amount of money, or like at this company or whatever it is. And they get frustrated. Like, I'm putting all my energy into that thing and it's not happening. And sometimes you kind of have to
let go of that,
what it looks like, and focus more on the feelings you want to feel from having that experience, instead of like, I have to be with that person, or I have to do this thing. And it's just like, I want to feel the feelings that I would feel if I was in that great relationship, or I want to feel the feelings it would be to have my own business. And, and the more you start focusing on like that intention of how you want to feel versus the specific details of the actual outcome, like let go of the outcome, set the intention, let go of the outcome, basically, like what is it?
That's a really good one. And I actually heard it from energy coach Coco Tiara, she's a Dutch coach, so only for the Dutch speaking listeners. And she also talked about that simply listen to the outcome of what you want to achieve. Do not look at specifically the thing you want. Just let it go and just trust in the progress, trust in the universe, trust in that it will come to you what you are asking for. But don't be too specific. Really simply trust in that good things are coming. So
right. Well, and a lot of the times we think we want something, we think it's the best thing for us, when really like there's something better out there. So actually, one of the things, and my mom used to remind me of this all the time, is like to say this or something better. So you always frame it like that. Like, I would love to have this job or something better. So it kind of leaves it up to the universe to say, well, if like we understand that you want this thing, but actually this other thing
better for you,
help you get the life that you want more, or be just happier, evolve more in some way.
I love that insight. I'm going to use that one. I'm not using it.
You haven't heard of that? Oh, good.
No, I haven't heard it yet, but it's a really good one.
Yeah, because you have to sort of like, it is sort of this partnership of like trusting that force out there that's guiding you along and asking for signs and stuff. and that you have to understand that the way that it looks or the timing is not always going to be what you think it is, and most of the time it's probably not.
Yeah,
You know, like
true.
letting go of that control. It's like, I've set my intention, I've put it out in the universe, and now I'm just gonna do what I can in my own life each day, like to make myself better and work towards my goals, and sort of let go of that control over it. Because the more you grasp onto something, like the more
Yeah,
of a struggle it's
true.
like, you know.
True.
And
Yeah,
the
also,
other thing that I think is a good thing to keep in mind with that being said is that what is meant for you will not pass you. So
definitely.
kind of relax a little bit.
Yeah, and another tip, which also relates to not focusing too much on the outcome, is to focus simply on how you feel right now. To really focus just on feeling good, because once you feel good, you have the right energy and you attract the things you want. So
Exactly.
much more
Yeah.
important to focus on your own energy than to focus on what's 10 meters or 10
Right.
foot ahead. You know.
Right. And I mean, because that's all you can really control is yourself. So if you try to control the things that are making its way towards you, like just you're gonna make yourself crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
And actually, it's another quote by another like amazing person in this sort of conversation in the world is Michael Bernard Beckwith. I don't know if you've heard of him.
No.
Another great person to look up if you haven't heard of him, but he's just another just amazing, just like spiritual guru guy, especially with like the laws of the universe and everything. But he said something recently, and it might be in other places like that he's written, but I just saw it recently where he said, you can't change your world without first changing yourself.
True.
And I think that's a like brilliant thing to like meditate on, is that, you know, if you want something to change in your outer circumstances, it's like everything is sort of a reflection of what's going on internally.
True.
So if you feel a certain way about a facet of yourself, it's going to sort of reflect in some area of your life, basically. So
Yeah.
if you want your outer circumstances to change, the best thing to do is sort of change that within yourself. And I don't want to say like a word of caution, because there's a lot of people out there that will then think, because like this actually happened to me when I watched The Secret. Have you seen that movie?
No.
The Secret is actually the movie that came out that like made everyone aware of like, oh, what is law of attraction? There's this thing.
Yeah.
And it's got a lot of those people that we've been mentioning in it as like guest speakers, whatever. And the thing that like, it's a really good movie if you've never heard of law of attraction, you kind of want to understand like the universal law of it. But with a word of caution is that you might, like what happened with me is at the end of the video, I felt terrible because I felt like the things that had happened to me in my life that were bad were my fault.
Oh,
Because you think that like every little thing is a reflection of what is going on internally. And I kind of want to say that I don't think necessarily that that's the case. Like you can't say that a loved one died because you had negative thoughts.
No,
like,
true.
There
That's
are things that are way beyond your
power. Yeah.
So just keep that in mind, like as you kind of dive into this whole world of law of attraction, is that definitely things that are, you know, out of your control, and you just do the best you can, you know,
to survive that. Yeah, good one. And I don't know, do you have any examples of how you are applying law of attraction in your life?
I feel like I have plenty over the course of, over the course of my life, there's lots of like different examples, but I think probably the best example I could give, because I know that because you want to talk a little bit about your business and
Definitely.
your house right now. So I think those are really good, like real life examples. But I think what I would want to add or share is just trusting in the timing of things, and like putting your intention out there and sort of waiting for the universe to reply. Because there have been multiple times in my life, like really frustrating times in my life, where I was trying so hard to manifest something and I was hitting like brick wall after brick wall after brick wall. And it was recently, like this past year, and like 4, 5, maybe 6 years ago, after I graduated college. I'll share that story because I think it's probably applicable to a lot of people. I graduated college and I wanted to find a job. I wanted to like start a life for myself. It was like all those puzzle pieces that were not like in place yet because I was in college for so long. So I wanted a relationship, I wanted a job, I wanted to find where I wanted to live, like all of these things.
Everything at once. Yeah.
Yeah. Every time I tried to like make progress, I would just hit a dead end. And it was so unbelievably frustrating. And then it was at one point that I decided to just like surrender and let go and be like, well, nothing is working. So like, I'm just going to just be,
sit back.
you know, and just kind of wait for a sign essentially. And yeah, it was just the way that things unfolded. And I ended up like leaving that issue to rest for just a very short period of time, and then within like weeks it was like everything started falling into place.
Yeah, but
So
that's what
it's
happens.
like you hit a brick wall or a dead end for some reason because it's not the path you're meant to go down. And if it's frustrating and the timing is just like not working, just try to breathe and remember, like, okay, there's got to be something else coming, and I
Yeah,
just have to be okay with where I am currently and
yeah,
look for signs of which direction I should go in. So
yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. And you know, that feeling of just letting go of the outcome, that's basically what you're saying, to
yeah.
just let go and just trust in the progress. And the funny thing is I applied I applied this in my business, and I really felt the effect of it immediately, because I was reading
Yeah,
this
that was cool.
yeah, I was reading this book from Gabrielle Bernstein, which is called Super Attractor. And basically in the book, she says to ask ask what you would like to feel like, and then simply thank your angels or the universe for delivering it to you, even if you haven't received it yet. Just thank them, because you know it's on the way. So you have the faith that what you're asking for, what you would like to where you would like to go, that it's coming your way. And I did that. So in the morning I was sitting down. I was actually in a situation with my business where it wasn't going that well for a month or two, and where I was struggling to find good clients that fit my personality, fit my skills. I was working a bit for clients, yeah, that I liked working for them, but it was not 100% a match. And I felt like, yeah, I really need to attract more of my ideal clients. So in the morning I was basically sitting down, I was journaling and asking for attracting clients that fit with my core business, fit with my personality, where it just flows, where business flows and it's just going well, you know. And I thanked my angels or the universe for delivering it to me, even if it isn't here yet, for doing their job. And then afterwards, I was just affirming to myself, I'm attracting my ideal clients. I'm attracting my ideal clients. I just kept repeating that to myself before I started working. And in the morning, I didn't have any clients that I could assist. And by the evening, I had 3 clients calling me.
Yeah, that was amazing. I remember you telling me
I had
that. Like,
3
whoa.
clients. I actually had 3 clients after doing that. And I
Yeah.
can't continue doing that. And now my business is doing so well because I keep affirming to myself, I am attracting the right clients. I'm believing myself. I have confidence that it's on its way. Even if I can't see it yet, they are on their way. And it is, you know, my clients can feel it in my energy. And suddenly it's like this ball that starts rolling. People see like, oh, wow, she has a lot of clients. So it's just more clients coming my way, and also clients from relations from those clients. So they also fit me.
Right.
So it's just really like this snowball effect, which started with one simple morning of being conscious about the law of attraction and applying it and trusting that good things are on its way. And yeah, I can really recommend, if you're doing business or if you're an entrepreneur, to just apply the law of attraction every single day, because if you do that, it's really going to work out for you. And yeah, one thing I would like to add to that in relation to business, because you can't feel good all the time, you know. I also have times where I'm like low on energy, and especially during lunchtime. As a highly sensitive person, I need to eat in order to function. Well, everybody does, but you know, highly sensitive people tend to get extra angry. And once I ate, and if I still feel a bit low on energy, what I do is to just put on a song that makes me happy and just dance around. And even if it's stupid, nobody's watching, you know, just do it to get in a good vibe and start working afterwards. And you'll notice that it's going to have a good effect on your business as well, and on the clients you're working with, on your work, on your output. So just try to maintain that good feeling. And if you notice that your good feeling is declining, maybe just take a few days off to just get back into that good vibe. And really try to deal with your feelings. So
right, it's a good thing to note that it's not like an expectation that you need to be positive all the time. It's just that
it's fine, you know,
like you want to allow those negative thoughts to kind of come and go without like sticking to you, and entertain the positive thoughts more than the negative. Like if you can, as you choose which thoughts to engage with as they, you know, fly through your mind, to sort of try to focus more energy on positivity and gratitude in your life versus negativity is basically
Yeah,
like
definitely. Yeah.
advice.
And
Yeah.
what always helps me, because of course I want to feel, also if I feel negative feelings, I just want to feel them. I don't want to push them away, but sometimes it's just thought patterns. It's not like if somebody dies around you, it's not a thought pattern. That's just something
Oh yeah,
that's
no.
happening to you, and you just have to feel that pain. You shouldn't push
Right.
it away. You shouldn't feel like, yeah, I have to dance because yeah, that would be so inappropriate. But
No.
but usually most of the time when I feel bad, it's just my thought patterns from my past taking over. So like the thoughts of, I'm not good enough, why would anybody buy from me, why on earth would somebody consider my services useful, like all these kind of insecure thoughts, which is basically your inner critic trying to knock you out and just pull you back into your comfort zone. And yeah, that's the where I'm talking about, try to push them away again, or maybe address why you're feeling that way. If you haven't done it yet, I know exactly why I'm feeling that way. So I know, okay, so you're trying to take your place again, so I'm just going to push you away. But if you haven't come that far yet in the progress, I really recommend you to talk to a coach or to a therapist to really get to the core of why your inner critic is saying those things to you. And yeah,
Right. Yeah.
just so you
Yeah, I think
understand where he's coming from. No, it's fine. It's fine that it's there, but don't give him big of a space. It sounds like I'm schizophrenic, but it's very easy
no,
to.
I was gonna say that's how I think of it too, as sort of like if you have like the angel and the devil on your shoulder, and it's like a lot of the times when you have really awful self-talk, it's like there's that devil on your shoulder is louder than the little angel on your shoulder. It's like
Definitely.
you want to start taking your power back away from those thoughts that are basically all fear-based. So it's like fear-based and
Yes.
love-based, and the more you can move towards like love-based thoughts of being like, it's okay that I have self-worth issues. Not saying like you're ignoring them and saying like, oh, that's not a thing that I'm dealing with. That doesn't exist. It's like
Yeah.
the love-based thoughts are more like you're along the lines of what you're saying, of recognizing where it's coming from and allowing yourself to be a work in progress. And, you know,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I think it's a really good addition. And yeah, it's just really important to acknowledge every single voice in your head, the good voice, the angel, the devil as well, to just all acknowledge them and know what their function is. Because
Right.
for I've actually been looking into identifying the different roles. What the different roles are trying to tell me if I feel insecure. What it's trying to do, what function
Right, it's trying to protect you. Like
it's there to
it exists
protect
for a
me.
reason.
Yeah, it is there because I figured out I don't want to be considered arrogant, or I don't want to be like this up here. I always want to stay humble and down to earth. And that's the function of my inner critic. She's
Right, like keeping you in check.
grounded, but sometimes she's really pushing me too far into the ground. And that's when I have to say, stop. You can
Yeah, I
be
think
there,
if
but
you ask yourself, like, is this fear, is this thought serving a purpose? Like,
yeah,
is this serving me in some way to have this thought? And if the answer is no, then just
let
turn up
it
the
go.
volume on the other one.
Yeah. We can definitely do a whole other video on that in the
On
future.
the inner critic, yeah. So one of the things I was going to say earlier is like, because going along with law of attraction and gratitude and sort of that inner critic voice, is that by affirming that you are deserving of attracting clients, or I'm sorry, affirming that you are attracting clients affirms to yourself that you're deserving of attracting clients. And it's
Yes.
kind of the same thing with the universe. If you're thanking the universe for already sending that to you, then it's like, there's no way, like if you're acknowledging the fact that something is coming towards you, then there's no way that you would think, like it's a contradictory thought for you to think that you're not worthy of it if you're already thanking it for
It's
coming into.
coming to you. Definitely.
Right. So it's like it kind of helps you start to feel more deserving, which is like a huge energetic block for people, I think, when it comes to law of attraction. Is
Yeah.
like, I don't deserve this, so should I really have it? And it's like that's just completely shuts down your whole like trajectory of trying to attract.
Yeah, and I think it's a good to let go of that, because in fact there's enough for everyone to go around. There's really enough abundance for everybody in this world to be happy. It's just, yeah, you just have to believe that you're just as deserving as other people to get to that to that happy state of life,
Yeah.
so I think it's a really good one.
Did you want to talk about your house real quick, and then we can?
Yeah, I think we can wrap it up. I just right now I'm busy with manifesting my home, my dream home, because we're selling our place and looking for a new place. And I'm making a really big mistake here. I'm really focusing on one specific outcome, which is like this house we're visiting tomorrow, or like
but it showed up after you set your intention, so that's
it showed up after I set my intention. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, I shouldn't focus too much with the universe on specifically that house, because as you said, I could say that house or something better.
Exactly.
So that's something I'm going to take over. And you can apply the law of attraction not only to your business, not only to your house. You can also apply it to your relationships, to your friendships, everywhere. Your health, everywhere you want to apply it. Just give it a try. And just let us know what you're trying to manifest. We're so curious to read about it. And we can't wait to hear your story. I think that's a wrap.
Sounds good. Happy attracting, everybody.
Good luck attracting your happiness. Okay, bye-bye.